Hello everyone, it is Tuesday, October 25th. Of course, Tuesday is not New Comic Book Day. I got real busy last week and didn't have time to do a video, so I'm not going to talk about the books I bought last week, but I thought I would just do a video. I had a question from one subscriber, and I had a couple little topics I wanted to touch base on. So first things first, of course, you know, I've mentioned in prior videos that I am trying to get a larger space inside my swap meet and had a location picked out. But unfortunately, when they did the building inspection, they have decided to put the restrooms in that location because it was closer to the lines that they need to run the water. So I have been forced to choose another location inside the swap meet, which I did. It's going to be a very nice location. But unfortunately, there is work that needs to be done in that area as it relates to the roofing, some new lighting. So I had anticipated getting into my new space by, I was hoping, the end of November. It's now looking like after the first of the year, unless something miraculous happens, which I don't think is going to happen. But that's okay. It's just the longer the wait, just more stuff I get to buy to put into the space. I've been buying a lot of books lately online. I've been able to find a couple of good sellers where I've been able to buy books that are real accurate to the grading that I like and are very close to the grades. So first things first. So, I mean, if you're ever in Las Vegas, just stop by Arkham Comics and Collectibles. Say hi. You don't have to buy nothing. Just come by and say hi. I like to meet the people who watch my videos. And again, I appreciate everybody who watches the videos. I appreciate the comments. It's just nice that, you know, I have people out there who appreciate the way I do things or the things that I say. So thank you very much on that. So again, I'll keep updating the shop information for everybody, but as of right now, there's a delay. And as disappointed as I am, I know everything happens for a reason. And when I do get into my new space, it's going to be magnificent and people are going to love it. So there's that. So number two, I got an email from a subscriber who said, hey, I've been watching your videos for a long time, and I know you say you're a tough grader, and I spoke to some people who know you, and they do say you're a fantastic grader, but I want to say that I'm a better grader than you. I have more experience than you. I've been doing this longer than you, and I am in the process of selling some books, so why don't you give my books a take a look? They'll be fantastic in your shop. Okay. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. He sent me a little link to some things that he had. He was new to selling. And so I thought, you know, I'm going to buy a book and just take a look at his grading. And if his grading's good, we'll do some business. I'm always looking for books. So the book I bought, he had listed as a 9.0, a very fine near mint, Amazing Spider-Man 175. There it is. Punisher cover story. And I got it for a really good price. And I get the book in the mail. He sent it real fast. Boom, quick shipping. Packed real well. That was a plus. Very good. And I open up the book and I immediately look at it and I graded it as a 5. There is spine damage up and down the spine. You have an area right here where there's an issue. I don't know if you can see it. Probably not. The cover's dirty. Look. And so I sent him an email and said, you know, I got your book. Thank you for the fast shipping. Thank you for the opportunity to, you know, look at your collection. Unfortunately, though, your grading is far different than my grading, and I don't think we're going to be able to do any business in the future. And he immediately sends back and calls me all these names, and you know, like I'm holier than thou and better than everybody else. I never say that. I'm consistent with my grades. My customers like my grades. People enjoy the grading videos that I do. Look. If you want to call the book a 9.0, call it a 9.0. It's not a 9.0. You can say whatever you want. If you had a shop and you were putting these in as 9.0s, you'd be out of business real quick. So I'm not going to bash the guy. That's his personal opinion on grading. Look, you sold me the book. You watch my videos all the time. Here's the book I bought from you. Not a 9.0. It's a 5.0 in my opinion. Have a great day. Okay, we're not going to do any business. We're not going to do business on that. So, next topic. Person sent me a question and said, what is my opinion on restoring books? It's a great question. And it's a very hot topic for me and the circle that I run around in. I have a lot of friends who collect books all across the country, people I've met over the years in this great industry that we are in. And I come from the old school. I've said that before. I don't believe in the grading companies. I believe books should be raw and kept raw, because that is the true measure of a beautiful collection, is when a person has high grades on books that haven't been touched up, haven't been pressed, haven't been cleaned, haven't been color touched. Look, we have a company here in Las Vegas that does a fantastic job of getting out little imperfections in books. But the people who use those companies, who use the color pressing and the cleaning companies, they're not doing it to put in their private collection. They're doing it to buy a $20 book, press it out, adjust it, clean it, touch it up, and then flip it for $100 because it's a different book. And most of the people who do that will never tell you that the book has been restored. It's very difficult on some of these things to see if a book has been pressed and cleaned, because the process is so good right now. And personally, I don't like restoring books. I just think it's the same thing as, if you're going to press a book out and restore it like that, you should have a lower grade, or it should be a, a qualified grade, but you shouldn't get the price for that book. Okay? Raw books. Raw books are where they at. A raw book, untouched, uncolor touched. You show me a beautiful book that's, from the 60s and 70s, that's a 859, 92, 94. We're doing business, because that's a beautiful book, and that's the way it should be. That's the true measure of a collection, in my opinion, is unrestored, untouched books. Everybody might feel differently about that. I do not. So I don't like it. There's the answer to your question. I think it's cheating the system, and that's the stuff that hurts the industry. Okay? Speculators and people who are just out to make the quick buck are going to hurt this industry more than overproduction of books. Trust me. So there's that. Don't get me going on that topic, because that's a nasty topic for me. I don't like people who do things like that. It just, to me, it's not above board. So number 2, I found a collector, or I found a company that sells books, and I looked at their scans, because I'm looking for a lot of books for my shop. I picked up a lot of nice things, believe me, a lot of nice things. I can't wait till the new space opens so I can cover my walls with all this new stuff, because I will never sell my private collection. That's never going for sale. So we'll put that out there. So I get some books, and here's just a couple things I picked up real quick. Here's, a Beware number 2. Nice book. Amazing Spider-Man 168. Beware number 7. It number 22, or actually it's Astonishing Tales number 22. Daredevil 42, First Jester. Not a super high grade book, but just a nice book. Iron Man 19. And I picked up some other things. I picked up a Beware number 1, Superman 205. I picked up, I got an order here, Daredevil 27, a Daredevil 28 in a nice condition. So I thought, you know what? I took the books out. I didn't even look at the packing slip, and I graded the books in my notepad, which I do. And I went and looked at the grades that I give it, and then the grades that they graded it at, and I matched them up. So I'm going to tell you what those grades were right now real quick. Beware number 1, they listed as a very fine plus. When I graded it out myself, I graded it a fine, very fine. Okay. About a grade and a half off. Okay. Beware number 2, they had as fine. I graded it as a very fine plus. I don't know what they were looking at on that book. It was an absolutely beautiful book. I don't know if that was a misprice, a misgrade or whatever, but that was a fantastic book. So, 2.5 more on the grade on that there. So I was happy with that. Amazing Spider-Man 168, they had down as a very fine near mint. I put as a fine, very fine. Okay? So, a little off on the books. Superman 205, they had very fine. I gave it a VG fine. That book had a spine roll, had some other issues with it. I don't know where they were seeing on that. Flash 188, they had fine minus. I gave it a VG, kind of close. But the grades now, I've had one book that's been good. So, Daredevil 27, they had fine, very fine. Of course, that's a Spider-Man crossover. I gave it a very fine plus. Again, another really nice book. I don't know what they were looking at. Daredevil 42, they said fine plus. I had fine minus, so it's kind of right in that general area. Astonishing Tales 22, they had fine minus. I had fine plus, so we're right kind of there. Beware number 7, they had fine, very fine. I had fine plus, half a grade, not that bad. I bought a Detective Comics 439. They had a fine plus. I gave it a VG, so it's way off on that. There was some, little staple issue, little puncture in the cover. No way that's a fine plus. Hero for Hire number 7, a Luke Cage book. They had very fine plus. I graded it a very fine plus, so we were right on with that book right there. Thor 172, they graded it a fine. I gave it a fine plus, so right there again, half a grade better. Iron Man 19, they gave it a fine. I gave it a VG plus, so we're off on that. And the last book, I bought 14 total, and the last book was a Daredevil 28 that they gave a very fine with beautiful pages, and I gave it a very fine near mint. We're kind of close on that again. Another one of those books where I don't know what they graded off on. So as you can see, I bought 14 books. I had 2 that were higher, 1 that was right on, and the others were a little off. Some as much as 2.5 and some as little as a half grade. So I am definitely going to do more business with this company because I just have to look at the scans and see. There's a lot of times where you can look at the scans and see the spine creases on it and things like that. But I know this was just kind of a weird video, but I just wanted to put something out there. So just to touch bases on that, new shop, delayed, restoration, no. Grading, bad. Books from company, close. So I'll do more business with them. And I'm not going to say the company's name right now. I want to see some more. If I get another, I just put another order in with them. And if the books come back really nice again like this, then I will give the company and give them the endorsement on my channel and allow you to purchase some books as well. But if it comes back really bad, then I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to endorse a company that sells books that are not up to par, what they say. But right now, they're hit and miss, but they're pretty close. The grades were close enough, knowing that my style of grading and their style of grading is pretty close. So it meshed pretty good. What I spent, what I'm going to get back when I resell them, there's a nice profit there to be had. So again, it was a quick video. I just wanted to get something out there. I hope you liked the video. If you did, subscribe, thumbs up, anything you want to do. But as always, if you didn't like the video, nothing I can do for you. Have a great night, and thanks for watching.